Pete Souza has spent more time in the Oval Office than almost any person in history.
He was the chief official White House photographer during the presidency of Barack Obama and the official White House photographer for President Ronald Reagan.
His latest book is The West Wing and Beyond: What I Saw Inside the Presidency. Pete is sharing some rarely seen photographs and untold stories tonight at the Orpheum Theater. That's where we find Pete Souza this afternoon. Welcome back to Live at 4, Pete.
Hi, Pete. Great to see you.
Great to see you again.
How is this book different than your first one?
Well, I mean, the first book was profiling President Barack Obama as president and really as a human being, whereas this one is kind of what else I saw inside the presidency. There are no pictures of Barack Obama in this book. It's more of the staff, both the appointees and permanent workers of the White House, those that support the presidency, and then my sometimes quirky look at some of the other things I saw inside the presidential bubble.
Well, that's one of the things I really like about the book. This gives us a look inside the West Wing and some of the unsung heroes, as you mentioned, who work in our democracy. When most people think of the West Wing, they think of the TV show. Is it really like that?
Not at all. I mean, I think if you look through the book, you'll see it's not as elaborate. The hallways are not as big. The offices are not as nice, except of course for the Oval Office. It's a cramped place with most of the office actually have no windows at all.
Overall, what was the atmosphere of the Obama White House?
Well, I think it was people serving a common purpose to do the right thing, to support the president, and, you know, trying to have a little fun along the way. I mean, I try to inject some of the humorous moments amongst the staff that I captured with my camera I think are included in this book to give people a sense that they took work. I mean, we all took the job real seriously, but you know, you got to have a sense of humor every once in a while.
Are these your personal photographs, or are these part of a national record or in the National Archive?
Yeah, every single photograph that I shot during the Obama administration, 1.9 million pictures, are all at the National Archives.
What kind of a relationship do you have to have with a president in order to have the kind of access that you had?
Well, I mean, you have to have a close relationship, at least professionally, where the president understands the purpose of documenting visually his presidency, or someday hers, for history. And I had that kind of relationship. It evolved into more personal, to the point where I think he would consider me a friend. I certainly consider him a friend. But the friendship part of it is not necessary. What's necessary is the professional relationship, that there's an understanding from the president why the photographer is there to document everything that happens. Because without that, you just are not documenting history. You're only documenting parts of history.
We mentioned you also worked in the Reagan White House. How are the two different?
I mean, as human beings, the similarity between the two of them was they both had what I would characterize as a very even-keeled disposition. That was one thing they had in common. In other words, it would take a lot to get either one of them, ruffled up. Not that they didn't, get angry at times, but it took a lot to get to that point. And that's probably a pretty good characteristic to have as a president.
Photographs and untold stories tonight at the Orpheum Theater. Tickets are still available. Pete Souza, thanks for being with us today.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on.
Have a great night, Pete. Great to see you.